Show you live proof of this money printing machine in action. Let's log in live here and refresh the tab so you can see it's all real. I haven't touched this account in months. Let's take a look together right here. As you can see, I set it up in March, and that month it made $26,000. Then I got busy with life and completely forgot about it. Yet, it still brought in $18,000 in April. The very next month, it brought in $14,000. And in June, it brought in a nice cheeky $7,000. Keep in mind, this is with zero work from my end. Once I set it up, I left it alone and let it do what it does best. Not bad for 0 hours of work if you ask me. By the way, this was all done without spending any money on ads. This is pure profit in my pocket. Let's switch over here to another tab. This one is actually really cool because it still pays me to this day. So let's go back a few weeks here. You can see, at first it was pulling in a few grand a week, but eventually it slowed down to a few $100s. In August, I decided to bring it back to life, using the method I'm about to show you later today. And almost instantly you can see it spiked to $6,000 that week. Then a payout of $1,000, $3,000, $5,700 over here, and $1,900 here. You can see we even had a $7,000 day, even a $10,000 day, and an $11,000 day. And it still pays me to this day. I haven't touched it in months. And here is the refresh, so you know this is all real. It's all live. And that's all from using the exact method I'm about to reveal to you in just a moment. So, unless you hate money, you'll want to drop everything you're doing and pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Because, let's face it, if you could make the money you wanted to make and had the freedom you wanted to have, you wouldn't be here watching this. You're still here because whatever it is you're doing isn't cutting it. Maybe you're working in a dead-end job and you hate that job. And deep down, you wish you could just quit, but you know you can't afford to do that. You bought into the idea that if you do a good enough job, you might eventually climb up the corporate ladder and eventually make a decent income. And you've been doing this for a long time, and you're just tired of it. Or maybe you like your job, you enjoy working there, but the long hours leave you with no time to spend with your family, friends, or do the things you love. And if we're being honest, 2 days off a week just isn't enough, especially when most of it goes into recharging for the week ahead. Or maybe you're like I was. You've tried to make money online before, and you've yet to get it right. You try business model after business model. You follow guru after guru. You buy program after program. And no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to make it work. And you're just confused. Well, I am here to tell you that it's not your fault. And while I don't know you or your story, here is what I do know. It's that I've been there, done that. Coming back home exhausted from a 12-hour shift, trying the new business model I just bought a course on, hoping that maybe this time, maybe just this time, things will just magically fall into place, only to find myself eventually giving up, like I always do. And after years and years of hopeless failure when it comes to making money online, I've learned one thing. There's an actual source for the money being generated online. Here's what I mean. People are spending millions of dollars a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The internet is literally a raging river of cash running by you, one that's absolutely exploding with profit potential. You just need to know how to look for it and where to find it. And until now, no one has yet to figure out how to tap into this raging river of cash without being an influencer, having a massive social media following, or spending a fortune on paid advertising. But that's exactly what I've discovered. The pocket-sized ATM machine is exactly what having your own money printing machine would feel like. You can not only practically print money on command, but you can also automate the whole process. So whether you're sleeping, playing with the kids, or on your way to your 5th vacation this year, it's always going to be doing what it does best, sucking in online cash. The pocket-sized ATM machine was initially developed by Mr. X, a computer science prodigy who needed the extra cash to fund his future career. His mathematical brilliance landed him a job in one of America's largest multinational conglomerates, a global operation that transacts over $1 billion a day. Quickly recognized by the higher-ups, his talent skyrocketed him into a classified wartime think tank to co-develop a project, codenamed The Machine. A project first initiated with the goal to cut down operational costs by automating the company's workflow. The team was given access to the whole facility, except for one room. At first, he thought nothing of it, but after months on the job, curiosity got to him. One day, against his better judgment, Mr. X decided to sneak into the room and see for himself what this was all about. As he entered the room, he saw something that would change his life forever. Among the many papers, one stood out, a list titled Firing List. Over 50% of the company's workforce was on the list, including Mr. X. When Mr. X realized he was just being used to fill the CEO's pockets full of cash, he decided to steal a copy of the project and test it out for himself. At first, he kept the secret to himself, but after pocketing $14,000 in the first 10 days, he shared what he'd discovered with some of his co-workers, some of whose names were also on the list. A few months later, the project was halted and the documents were destroyed after one employee showed up to work in a red Porsche. Mr. X was stripped of his job title and blacklisted from the industry, and just like that, it was all over. Pissed off and desperate for revenge, Mr. X and the few he shared it with continued to develop the machine and began to go public with it. At first, no one listened, but soon enough it started to go viral all over social media after a dad of 2 from Arizona shared his story with the world. That guy was me. When I first heard about Mr. X's system, I was pretty skeptical. In fact, when Mr. X first walked me through the process, I laughed it off. I thought, it's too simple. But when I saw the $1,987 that landed in my bank that very same week, I was a believer. 30 days later, I had an extra $12,800 to my name. I sure wasn't laughing anymore. I am just a 35-year-old dad of 2. I have no college education. I have no special skills or talents. But even that didn't matter when using Mr. X's system. My wife and I finally had our honeymoon. We'd gotten married almost 5 years ago, but didn't have the funds at the time. I've now made over $280,000 thanks to Mr. X's system. Almost 10x what I used to make back when I was working in construction. My wife too started using the system. She's made over $180,000 in just the last few months alone. After seeing the results, Mr. X and I wanted to make sure the system is bulletproof. In his definition, a system that would work for anyone, no matter how old or young they are, where they're from, or if they have the tech skills of a grandma. So, we did something we'd never seen a guru do before. We started sharing the system with some close friends and family members who were really struggling. First, I gave it to my mom. She's 59, barely knows how to send a text message. She's worked at a local supermarket since she was 20 years old. To my surprise, not only was she able to get it up and running alone, but she did it in record time. Not even a day later, she sent me this message. That's when I knew I'd created a monster. She made $2,812 in her first month. She's now quit her job and spends most of her time around her grandkids. This got me excited, so I helped my dad set it up too. Not only did he make $500 in the very first week, but when I took a look at his account, I realized he'd set up the system wrong. Word quickly traveled around the family, and my sister wanted to know how it works. I agreed to show her how it works, under 2 conditions. First, she quits her job. Second, she takes the whole family to southern France this summer. She agreed, quit her job as a barista at the local coffee shop, and I showed her Mr. X's system. Here's the message she sent me not even a week later. $898 in a week is something I didn't even think my sister could do. Let's just say she was never the brightest, and she kept her word. We stayed the summer in this beautiful villa. It was a blast. It cost $1.6K a night. Meanwhile, this money printing machine generated $37,000 for me alone, and almost $100,000 when you count the whole family. In the last few months, Mr. X and I have joined forces to share this system with anyone that would listen, and we called it the Pocket-Sized ATM Machine. Since its release just a few weeks ago, thousands of everyday folks from all around the world have used this system to drastically change their lives. Some even reporting making more in the last year than they've made in a lifetime. What's more is that no matter how many people are using the system, it never stops working. Here's why. Unlike traditional money-making methods, the machine follows where the money is on the internet right now and leads you straight to it. Let me explain. This is the cycle of precipitation. A cloud comes, it rains. The water goes down a stream into a river. The river flows into the ocean, where the water evaporates again, then goes back up into a cloud and floats somewhere else, and the cycle continues. You see, money works the same way. Like the water, money is always flowing through the global economy, 24/7, 365. It never runs out. It just circulates. And if you stand in the right place, at the right time, you're gonna get wet. Issue is, how do you know where the money is? That's where the pocket-sized ATM machine comes into play. Just like a pair of X-ray vision goggles, it shows you exactly where the money is right now. All you do is just reach out and grab your share of the pie. And because you always know where the money is, you'll always be able to make money, regardless of pandemics, inflation, or the state of the global economy. And that brings us to why you're here today. In just a moment, I'll show you how you can also claim a copy of the pocket-sized ATM machine, so you can start to change your life in some incredible ways, just like all the others before you. But first, I must warn you. If you're still seeing this page, that means you can still secure your copy of the pocket-sized ATM machine, but it could go down any second. Mr. X and I have been fighting back at the higher-ups to keep this website up. They've been doing everything in their power to take this website down, and they've already succeeded twice before. I am not sure how much longer this site will remain online, So if there is even the slightest chance that you want the pocket-sized ATM machine, and who wouldn't, I urge you not to close out of this page until you've secured your copy. Now that Mr. X's system has given me, my wife, and my family the life we've always wanted, I want you to experience the same joy for yourself. We've created a private website where you'll download the system and you can start learning in minutes from now, all from the comfort of your own home. The pocket-sized ATM machine isn't designed to give you information overload, nor did we create it to jam your head full of fluff and theory. Just watch the video training and you'll be set. Just a simple step-by-step process to follow along. In fact, we've already done 90% of the work for you. Mr. X and I built the system in a way that would allow anyone to use it. Remember, we wanted this to be a bulletproof system, meaning that anyone no matter what could use it. So no matter how old or young you are, where you're from, what phone you use, or if you've failed everything you tried in the past, the pocket-sized ATM machine will work for you. You never have to worry about creating websites, products, or anything else like that. You also don't need to worry about inventory or shipping, since it's all digital. We've even created a one-page guide that shows you how to maintain the system in just 7 minutes a day. Every day, Mr. X and I get messages from regular, everyday people who've transformed their lives thanks to the pocket-sized ATM machine. People like Mike in Dallas, Texas. When I first found out about the pocket-sized ATM machine, I was on the verge of giving up. I'm in my 50s. I am not super tech savvy, and I've been trying to make money online for too damn long. I wasn't even sure if it would be too complicated to access the material or too difficult to put into practice. But I thought, what the heck? If this system does even 10% of what it promises, it's worth giving it a shot. And when I decided to get in, I had no idea how my life was about to change. It's now been a couple months since I started implementing the system. I've now quit my job, and I just took my wife on the honeymoon we never had. It's mended our marriage, and we're closer than ever before. She also started using the system and has now quit her job at the local Starbucks. We now spend most of our time traveling the world and doing the things we love. Right now, I am writing this message to you from Bali, Indonesia. I attached an image of the villa we're staying at. It's pretty nice. Here is Rachel from California. When I first saw your site, the first thing that came to mind was, this is a load of crap. He's probably going to take my credit card and I won't even get the product. But what you said about never having the time to spend with my family or do the things I love, which is the exact problem I've had my entire adult life, it made me think, yeah, I'll risk it. So anyway, I reserved my spot and was relieved when I got access immediately. Not only was it legit, but it could do everything it said it can, and more. That same night, I started going through the material. And that very same night, I made my first sale. It's now been 5 months, and no joke, every morning I pinch myself to see if I would wake up. I've never experienced anything like this. My whole life has become surreal. Luis in Michigan says, at first I was going to pass on this opportunity. Thank God I didn't, and you'll see why in just a second. First, some background about me. I started this online thing 5 years ago. I do pretty well myself. But 3 out of those 5 years were spent learning all the skills needed, like creating websites, products, adverts, etc., etc. So when first I saw this, I was pretty skeptical. But being the curious person I was, I thought, hey, what do I have to lose? So I gave it a shot. And let me tell you, this stuff is light years ahead of anything else I've ever seen. It took me maybe 20 minutes to set everything up. Within a few days, I made the first few sales. It was mind-boggling. I've never seen anything like it before. I am so grateful that I was one of the few who got the chance to be a part of this. My life will never be the same again. And if you're lucky enough to be a part of this too, I highly recommend it. But first, I must warn you, because when you're making this kind of money, it's hard to hide. And when people find out about it, they won't understand how you did it in such a short amount of time. They'll often wonder if you won the lottery or if you're doing something illegal, but in reality, you just know where the money is and you're grabbing your share of the pie. This system is 100% legal, moral, and ethical. In fact, you're actually providing a valuable service. Oh, and the best part? I used to spend 6 to 8 hours a day staring at a screen, and I made a fraction of what I make now. And let me tell you, it's much more fun to be sitting on a beach, feet buried in the sand while you sip on margaritas all day. In just a minute, I'm going to show you what to do to become the next success story. And since you've been paying attention so far, you probably realize how powerful the pocket-sized ATM machine is. Maybe you're even thinking of all the different ways you could use the extra cash from it. Maybe you'll use it to pay off your mortgage. Maybe you'll use it to take that long-needed vacation. Maybe you'll use it to pay off some student loans that you have. Maybe you'll get that new car or that new house. Right now, you've probably got a couple questions, like, how can I get access to this right now? How much is this going to cost? And is it guaranteed to work for me? I'll answer these questions in a second, but first I have a question for you. What's it worth to have a machine that prints you thousands on command? What's it worth to never have to worry about the bills, inflation, or providing for your family? What's it worth to maybe even quit whatever soul-sucking, time-stealing job you have right now? To live the life of freedom that you deserve? Think about the control you'd have over your life. What would it be worth for this kind of transformation? The folks who have access to pocket-sized ATM machine say they couldn't even begin to put a price on the transformation. I mean, wouldn't you agree yourself? It's a way out of the matrix, the rat race most people stay in until they die. It's a way to stop living paycheck to paycheck, to never have to worry about the bills piling up. It's a way to have complete time, location, and financial freedom. The freedom to do what you want, when you want. To travel the world, spend time with friends and family, and have the freedom to do what you really want to do. Maybe you get that brand new car you've always wanted without having to worry about the price. Maybe you use it to add some extra padding in your bank account. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Having enough money saved up so you don't ever feel anxious, worried, or lack for anything ever again. Numerous people have told me that we should charge $10,000 or $8,000 for this system, but I know that's out of reach for most people, and charging that much would exclude the people I want to help anyways. I am not in this for the money, and neither is Mr. X. Sorry to be blunt, but we don't need the money. We're rich beyond our wildest dreams, waking up to hundreds, at times thousands of dollars hitting our bank accounts. The pocket-sized ATM machine has given me a completely different life, a life where I wake up mentally free from worries or concerns. And I want others like you to feel the same way when they wake up. I know how it feels to be drowning in debt, always surviving, never thriving. I know how it feels to give it your all and still feel like you're not going anywhere. I know how it feels to work 2 jobs, just to get back home exhausted with barely the time nor the energy to spend with your family. Money is abundant in the world, there's loads of it. And it's unfair that the average hardworking person is barely able to get their hands on any of it because of some greedy billionaires. So I'm not going to ask you to fork away $10,000 or $8,000 for this system, like most authorities would advise me to. And although this would still be a bargain at even $1,000 or $500, in this economy, that won't cut it. So you won't have to pay $500 or even $300. In fact, it won't even cost you $100. The truth is, I'm not even interested in making a profit on this. All I ask is that you help cover the expenses it takes to develop the product and run this website. So when you claim your copy of the pocket-sized ATM machine, you'll get instant access to the entire system for just $57. But that's not all. Because you've made it this far into the presentation, it's obvious that you're serious about having the money and freedom to enjoy the life that you deserve. And you're interested in seeing how this one-of-a-kind solution can help you, the same way it's helping thousands of others. Which is why I want to let you try this cutting-edge system at a special price only available through this video, on this page today. So today, for a limited time only, I'd like to offer you the pocket-sized ATM machine for just $47. That's another $10 off. Over the next month, that's going to break down to $1.56 a day, less than a cup of coffee nowadays. Way less than the cost of the rubber bands you'll need later to organize all your cash. Trust me, you're going to need them. All I ask in return is that you consider sending us a success story once you start experiencing the life-changing transformation that so many others like you are now experiencing. And you should know that I am not going to limit the amount of time you can keep the pocket-sized ATM machine. It'll be yours forever. So click the button below and claim your copy of the pocket-sized ATM machine now. Once you've hit the Order Now button below, you'll be taken to our 100% safe and secure checkout page where you'll enter your order information and credit card number. The order form is fully protected using the very latest 256-bit SSL encryption for total privacy and protection. It's the same security that giants like Amazon.com use. And as soon as you hit Submit, the pocket-sized ATM machine will be emailed to you immediately. But that's not all. Not by a long shot. Being a part of this test group means you're now part of Mr. X's inner circle. So to guarantee your success, he's going to arm you with some unique bonuses that aren't available anywhere else. I was even shocked when I first saw the list. Check it out. Your first free gift, cash on command. You can use this whenever you need extra cash, on command. I am talking in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Now, it won't bring in thousands, but it's great if you need an extra few $100 right now. We all have times where we need money now. A medical bill here, a car repair there. Just use this simple 3-minute shortcut to inject some extra cash straight into your bank account. Your second free gift, Cash Multiplier. Making a lot of money makes you rich. Multiplying your money makes you wealthy. The wealthy use money to make them even more money. This is a tell-all report by Mr. X on how he makes his money work for him. And Mr. X just added a third free gift for you last night. That's absolutely incredible. When Mr. X first got started, his first breakthrough came with what he now called the 14K system. Just imagine, $14,000 in 10 days, starting from scratch. Mary, a 35-year-old single mom from Texas, said, "This system is like having a money printing machine on steroids. I'd already started using Mr. X's system and was already seeing the money coming in. But this took things to a whole new level. I made over $10,000 last week after implementing the 14K system. My 10-year-old daughter Anna even helped me set it up. I officially put in my resignation. I didn't even give them a 2-week notice. So if you're serious about transforming your life, then click the button below this video to claim your copy. But wait, there's more. Mr. X and I believe so strongly that the pocket-sized ATM machine is unlike anything you've ever seen or tried before that we're going to guarantee your order today. Here's what that means. When you place your order from this website, you're backed by our 90-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If, for some reason, you're not happy, just send us an email and we'll refund every penny. No questions asked. Plus, I'll take it a step further and say this. If you don't see real passive income from this powerful system within a couple weeks of setting it up, I want you to come back and hit me up for a refund. It's that simple. I don't want to keep your money unless you're making money. Either you make money or you get all your money back. Simple as that. And I seriously doubt you'll be coming back for a refund anytime soon because I know it'll work for you. Just as it worked for me and so many others out there right now who are living this life using this very system. And if you do decide you want a refund, which again I think is remote, as my parting gift, get this. You can keep the system and all of the bonuses, every single one, because Mr. X and I appreciate you for trusting us right now and for testing out the system. That means you don't even have to make a decision right now. Just say maybe, and you'll have all the time you need to test it out for yourself. Simply click the button that's below now and secure your copy of the pocket-sized ATM machine. Within minutes, you'll get instant access to the private members platform. Right now, you've got an important decision to make. Likely the most important decision you've made in a long time. A decision where you must make the choice between two very different outcomes. Option 1 is to leave this page and do nothing. To leave this page and keep doing what you've been doing all along, continuing to experience the frustrations and challenges that brought you here in the first place. A life where you're always living paycheck to paycheck, up to your neck in overdue bills and never-ending debt. Telling yourself that things will eventually fall into place. Never able to truly enjoy the freedom you desire. Or you can choose to never settle for mediocre, to take matters into your own hands and start to tap into the raging river of cash that's flowing right by you. To wake up free of stress or worries, knowing that you have plenty of money in the bank. All that's left for you to do is to click the button below and get access to pocket-sized ATM machine right now. Now it's up to you. You can carry on as you've always been. Or you can try the pocket-sized ATM machine absolutely risk-free for 90 days. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. If not, you don't pay a single penny. Just click the download button and get it all started today.